Ooh. Oh, wait. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Nice.
A D&D night. No theme song yet, so it's just like ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey everybody, and welcome to another mandatory work outing here on NPC Incorporated's Twitch channel. Tonight we're going to be playing some D&D 5th edition, and we have some special guests in addition to our two main cast. Liz and Brandon are waving on the side. Before we introduce them, let me remind you what. Don't boo yourself, or Bliss.
I want to
No
boo
one can
myself.
tell. It's
I boo myself. I'm the man who boo me.
I am the man who boos. But just to give you a little rundown of what we're doing tonight. So we've been kind of experimenting with just like some fun one shots to while away our Thursday pandemic hours, and we have been posting just the settings on our social media and asking you, our listeners and watchers and friends, to vote on which one you'd like to have. This week, the chosen one was Rowdy Roadhouse, which is a one shot that I wrote. So I'm going to be in the DM chair this evening. It's gonna. I'm really excited. I have a lot of fun. Basically, a bar work sim ahead of us. But before we do that, let's go ahead and meet our cast. Starting with looking at the circle. Let's start with you, Liz.
Hello, it is me, Liz Getty. I'm very excited to be here, and today I'm going to be playing Petunia Butterbolt Jr., who is a rabbit folk from the new Unearthed Arcana Fae folk thing, and I'm very excited, and I'm a monk, and I'm really cool, and it's just really exciting.
Pretty exciting.
And my pronouns are they,
Addendum?
them, and Petunias are she, her.
Excellent. And we're also going to have a chance for our characters to describe themselves physically when we get started. So if you're curious about what all these wild characters look like, don't worry. We're going to let you know. Brandon, next.
Hey, it's your boy Brandon Kirkman, one of the casts here at NPC Incorporated. And what's that? I got a. Wow, I really fucked that up. I got a big old beard tonight.
Oh, that was cool.
Sick beer, top for that for you?
Yeah. Is one step away from being like, Mom. He, him pronouns. I'd be playing Phallix Blightslinger, which is a plague doctor turned bartender, which I'm just calling a plague bartender, after being discredited from his own medical field and then also getting his own business shut down because he never had the accreditations for that either. He's just doing a lot of legal things all the time. Definitely not going to do anything with the drinks because that would be creepy, so don't worry about that. I thought about, like, that would be a bad joke to make. He's more interested in making plague spells. He doesn't touch the drink stuff. He's really excited to make you the perfect cocktail, and you're going to love it. He's also constantly wearing the weirdest getup, including a plague doctor mask. And I want to think like a young, spry Emperor Palpatine. He just got the Empire going. He's kind of feeling himself out. He's having a good time.
Emperor Palpatine was in Cocktail with Tom Cruise.
Yes, that is
okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
How will we meet Alex next?
Oh man, yeah. Hey there, NPC Inc. Long time, first time. I'm Alex. Tonight I will be playing. I'm very excited to be on the stream. I will be playing Tex Arcana, a human barbarian who serves as the bouncer for this fine establishment. And he is the son of a local warlord and her chief druid, and got kicked out of the Fantasy Merchant Marine before remembering his childhood dream to beat up losers and freaks in a bar. At which point he went on a vision quest and was inspired to be hired at the Double Curse the very next day, where he can be seen breaking up fights with his baseball bat, which some might call wrong, but he calls fun.
Yeah. This is probably the first time you've been on one of our streams. Alex was one of the previous DMs of Destined Day Jobs.
Wow!
I didn't want to say anything, but I did realize that as soon as we had started. I was like,
big reveal.
Yeah.
And Rudy?
Oh man.
Yeah. Hello. My name is Rudy Schultz, and I'm gonna be playing Durzik Gloomhewer, who is a Duergar rogue. He lived in the Underdark, and he was an outlander. He was a trapper. He didn't get along with the Duergar where he lived, So he kept pushing further and further out into the Underdark, into the wildlands, trapping animals and, killing them and selling their parts. And he got far enough out to where he finally got out of the Underdark and just onto the surface world. Found himself coming out of the King Mountain into King City. Had a run-in with the King's Guard. Almost got tossed into the Clink, into the dungeon, but he found his way out of that situation. Left and found the Double Curse on the city outskirts, and threw open the door and said, "This is a hive of scum and villainy that I could really find myself, glomming onto like a mollusk." And he's been working there as the worst server in all the land ever since, shirking just about 100% of his duties and doing just about nothing. Gets no tips whatsoever, but he's the Double Curse's highest earner, which might point to, maybe his grubby gray little paws getting into somebody's pockets.
Yeah, how much
or everybody's
is he wearing?
pockets.
Like, how much of a corporate man is he? That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, he's like wearing a bunch of ratty leather and pieces of critters that he trapped. I feel like he's so well, unless the Double Curse makes him wear flair, but it doesn't seem like a flair kind of a
I think
place.
actually wearing little bits of animal it counts as flair at the Double
All
Curse.
right, then he's got a whole lot of flair, baby.
Nothing but
He's covered. He's
a little
covered in
bird
shit.
skull on your suspenders counts as like a button.
Yeah, but that's Durzik, the son of a bitch.
Hell yeah! Well, I'm so excited for everyone to meet these characters. And my name is DM Hobart, and I will be hosting this evening's adventure. My pronouns are he, him, and I have a delicious Empirical Brewing beer. If in my neighborhood, this is a brewery. I don't know why I'm trying to help give you clues to where I live so you can find me, but
yeah. Well, I live by
wish I could take it all back now.
Anchor beer instead. That's what
Let's get that address going. Come on, let's hear it.
I'll be sprinkling it out throughout the night as we go. But let's go ahead and get started with our adventure, shall we? We've met our characters. Now let's hear about this world. Yes, this is a one-shot about a bar for the Rowdy Roadhouse suggestion. And the bar in particular is named the Double Curse. This bar is on the outskirts of a gigantic city in this world. This city is called King City. It is built up around a giant mountain, one of the tallest in the lands, but oddly isolated in the middle of what is around its flatlands and forests. It's called King City, and King Mountain is the name of the mountain. Contrary to how the name kind of makes it sound, the city is actually not ruled by a monarchy. In fact, it is actually ruled by a singular corporation, the King's Corporation. King Corporation is a mining concern mostly, and a lot of the industry around the area is related to the mines that run throughout King Mountain, connecting even to, they say, the Underdark. It is a kind of rough place, King City. The King Corporation has no love for the people and its workers, and the conditions are considered quite poor in the city for anyone who isn't extremely wealthy or executives for the corporation. The corporation keeps the city under tight, kind of iron-fisted control via a private workforce called the King's Guard. King's Guard are kind of a law enforcement organization, and privately owned, fucking horrible. You all in this world kind of fall on the spectrum that polite society of King City would deem villainous. A lot of people are pushed to the fringes of society in this harsh capitalistic society, and find themselves turning to crime or to stranger, odder magical pursuits to make ends meet. You all are in this adventure not heroes, not a party, not a questers. Instead, you are the staff at a infamous watering hole known as the Double Curse. Double Curse is far in the outskirts of the city, along places where three roads come together, one of which that goes to the city. It was probably at one time a stopover inn or tavern for people traveling to and from merchants and whatnot. But most people who aren't involved in criminal pursuits avoid it like the plague. It is serves as kind of a rendezvous and hideout and hangout for some of the worst of King City. Talking real fucking villains come to this bar. They know that this is a treat place to drink. People will leave them alone. The rules are lightly enforced, and most importantly, that the King's Guard are pretty unlikely to ever show up. So you are all the workers. We'll go ahead and just before we get started, that's kind of our intro as we fade down to the credits and say one night of the double curse. So I want to go ahead and just raise a toast to all of you. If everyone wants to join me. Also, we kind of drink along at home. We don't have any particular rules for tonight, but we encourage you to take a drink for natural ones and natural 20s. And to those of you about to roll, I salute you.
Slancha,
Yeah. Proust.
Nostrovia, Kampai, Prost, Pruskizik.
So, you all arrive for a normal day at
Salute.
work. You memorize all the cheers. Ooh, made my eyes water a little bit. Woo! So you all arrive at the your work, your place of operation. It's like middle afternoon, kind of like before 5 p.m. This is usually when you all arrive, kind of kicking off the hangovers and nursing sore muscles from the shift before. You arrive to help the owner of the establishment to set up. As you approach, you see kind of down this dusty offshoot off of these main thoroughfares is the building itself. It's tall but single story, made of largely wood construction with like big single log kind of supports that hold up a front porch and the large timber sides of the building. There's some windows, but largely not a lot. The doors are kind of just big wooden double doors that you're quite familiar with hucking two drunk revelers through as your jobs as bouncers and enforcers here. Anything you want to do? Let's go ahead and just kind of go down the line. We'll say that you all kind of arrive together, and I want to hear a little bit about these characters physically as they approach.
Well, I want to say it is in the NPC tradition. We're all holding hands when we do arrive.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, that's a very good recurring joke. I'll allow it.
That's right.
I guess since I spoke up first, I'll describe Phalix Blightslinger. He's become a bit of a famous for his mixology at the Double Curse. Some people seek him out if they want to deal with the hive of scum and villainy, as we mentioned earlier, because he has many years of experience from a lot of his illegal practices in both medicine and sciences that he's put to work to make the perfect drink. Many have come and many have been both, I'd say, almost exalted by such an experience, while others have met their fates and ends just trying to get that perfect drink from such a dangerous location. Because of this, though, he likes to show off his status. He has the nicest, almost whitest kind of robes mixed with a black and white and a talisman on it that's a weird X that has a green glowing vial in the middle of it with a famously donned plague mask from his years of being a plague doctor before he switched over to becoming a mixologist. He says he wears it to honor the craft because first and foremost, he's always a scientist and he's always looking to change things. But really, it's just because he's a real weird freak, to be honest. And he loves it. He loves to be eccentric. He loves to make a scene, and he loves to make you just the perfect little drink. And he's just looking it over and sees that the staff arrives. He's like, oh, good day, everybody. You ready for another beautiful night at the Double Curse?
Who's next?
Yeah.
What a fucking transition.
Yeah.
I'll go next. In response to his coworkers' query, a towering man with just like a flaxen blonde mullet, just kind of like grunts. And if you were to watch this man kind of enter in, he's wearing the first thing you notice about him is that he has a big bronze medallion of like the sun shining through the clouds, and it's decorated with bear claws and eagle feathers. And under that, he's got a tight yellow shirt that just says Longhorn Sunrise on it. Never seen without just like a cool, tight pair of dungarees and just the nastiest boots you've ever seen. And you would notice that he is also kind of idly twirling a great club that just has Casey written on the side of it in cursive. And doing this, Texarkana grunts and says, "No such thing as a good night at the Double Curse," as he goes to take a seat at the bar to see if he can try to annoy anybody into picking a fight with him.
Yeah, I'd say Falix just gives a solemn nod, but he thinks himself as like he doesn't know how much I make in tips. That's a real shame. A lot of good nights. I assume villains would tip well. I mean, that's just something I was thinking about before we started this.
I mean, they're villains. They're not monsters.
Exactly.
Well, shit.
Who's
yeah.
next? I'll pick.
Let's get it over with, I guess. You see a very, very tiny, like 4 foot tall rabbit folk, with like gray hair all over, but the sides of her face are all shaven down and then smudged with like black soot and ink to like make the appearance of a black mohawk. And she has lip earrings, and both long ears are like studded with earrings and hoops and jewelry, and her eyebrows pierced. And on one shoulder there's like a very shakily done tattoo of a sailboat, and she's wearing cut off shirt, no sleeves, and just like normal loose trousers, and there's a holster on one of the legs, and there's a flask in there. And this is Petunia Butterbolt Jr., daughter of Petunia Butterbolt, the hero of King City and the hero of Queen City, and an all-around just incredible adventurer, known and loved throughout the lands, yada yada, whatever. Petunia Butterbolt had a bunch of kids, couldn't raise them herself, sent them to like this monastery. It was super boring. And PBJ, me, kind of ran away and doesn't like all that hero shit. So here we are, working. And we don't really talk about my mom and let the customers know about that. So I'm just PBJ or Petunia. Definitely not a Butterbolt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And heading up the rear, the eternal toxic employee, classic server who didn't want to be there, Durzik, Gloomhewer, real typical looking Duergar, kind of like Genghis Khan from Mulan, but like 5 feet tall with a big schnoz. Just a gray-skinned, gray-eyed, black, long-bearded, grumpy-ass dwarf. What time of day is it outside?
It's 5, so it is sunny.
Okay, so it's still sunny. All right, so he's like in hell. Not doing great. Rushes into the double curse with his bits and bobs of underdark creatures sewn into his leather, and waddles into the comfort of the darkness to go find Dalton, because he likes to spend a lot of his shifts talking with Dalton, I imagine, just kind of bullshitting behind the bar and not really doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. So yeah, when you enter the bar, the bar is sort of. I mean, it's got a lot of charm to it. I like to say about the double curse. There's there's a, as we have someone we were talking in our Discord, which by the way you should join our Discord. It's a lot. We've been having a lot of fun chatting there over the last couple of weeks. And there's like a rug made out of a jackadile, like a you can look at the map. I've already sent you the maps. We don't necessarily. Oh, the map's up. That's great. That's perfect. I do ignore some factors. Some of the things on the map are going to come into play later. This is mainly just so you get an idea of the space of the bar, really. So there's Jackadile rug down there. There's bric-a-brac all over the walls, old suits of armor hung up in the rafters, big skulls from things that looks vaguely humanoid, but with like more teeth than they should have. The bar is owned by a necromancer that you know quite well. His name is Stu. You don't see Stu as you walk in, but you do see that the bar was sort of a long wooden bar with big barrels with taps in it and lots of little bottles is where it normally is, and no one's there. There is, however, something that you all recognize, and especially you, especially you, Durzik, is that there is a little pedestal and like a centerpiece of the bar with between like the big kegs of beer and the bottles of liquor and wine. And sitting on this pedestal, kind of in a case, is a human skull. The skull has like runes etched into it. You know this to be a skull that contains the spirit of the world's greatest cooler, a human man named Dalton. The necromancer came into possession of the skull through means and use it to access the spirit of this legendary warrior so he may aid you in your quests to do your job. So what do you do now? You're seeing at the bar. You don't see Stu anywhere.
Dalton, where is Stu?
The runes kind of one by one start to glow and fill up the skull, and then you sort of just like see projected almost outside on top of the skull is a human man's face. He's got a like sort of a chiseled jawline and sort of swept backed hair, and dangling from his mouth is a phantom cigarette that slowly trails phantom smoke up into the air. And he goes, "Hey everybody, how's it going?"
Oh, it's going wonderful.
Well,
It's fine. Another day, another night of all of this wondrous amusement and fantasy ahead of us.
You know, I know it's early. It's always so annoying. I kick it off, but I just want to know what the tip split's going to be tonight. I know there's some newer kind of novices taking from my jar, which fine. But I mean, look at this. It doesn't pay for itself. I just wanted to put that down right away.
chips will be distributed as they're distributed, friend.
Right, but is that like a 30, 70, 30, 30, maybe like I'd say 40 and 30, depending on the split? I need to know what my money.
And so you see the Phantom sort of shake its head and he says, that's not really the spirit of the whole thing, you know? We all got to work together. Only that way can we make sure that everything goes off without a hitch tonight.
Hey, Dalton, tell us about the time that you killed all of those guys.
Well, I didn't take a lot of pleasure in killing those guys, but sometimes you got to put people in their place if they're acting a fool. Y'all remember the 4 rules of the bar, right?
Of course.
Why don't you remind those of us that drink heavily?
The lighting up above his head, you see text appear. The first one appears and it says, no one is allowed to kill the patrons at the Double Curse. This rule is broken constantly. But these are mostly suggestions. The second one is expect the unexpected. Never underestimate your opponent. The third one is take it outside. The fourth one is be nice.
I mean, you always have to be nice. Can we say that a 5th rule appears right above it? It's like, have fun.
yeah, have fun. Give 110%. Don't tell anyone about Fight Club. As you are having this conversation, the door kind of opens in the back that leads to like the room where all the supplies and kegs are kept. It's also you all recognize that it is basically the laboratory of Stu the Necromancer. And striding out, kind of rushed acting, is Stu himself. He's a tall, lanky human man. He's wearing just sort of like normal, peasant's pants, and he's wearing a tank top with an apron over it. The apron is drenched in splashes of blood. And then his other defining feature is perched on top of his head is a black wizard's hat, like a Halloween witch hat. And it's just sort of like cocked at an angle. And he sort of like wipes his forehead as he walks out. He says, "Oh, hey everybody. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm running real late today."
I know. Daylight savings is catching up with all of us. Even a week later, it's amazing how much an hour can take or give.
I hate when they save daylight. I hate it.
The chronomancers insisted, that's like a law. Ugh. And he sort of says, "Can I get a drink? Can you pour me a drink, Falix?"
Of course. What will it be?
"Oh, it's a whiskey, man."
Straight, neat. What are we looking at?
A lot of questions from you, man. Can I just get like a little glass of whiskey, like a shot?
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna. He doesn't always need to make it fancy. He just grabs like the usual blend that Stu likes, and does a good 2-finger, I'd say, amount into a good little tumbler.
They hand it to him. He takes and just all at once, just pounds it. Just, oh, thanks. I needed that.
Dog.
You're looking nice tonight, Stu, with all of the ichor.
And he looks at me and says, "Oh man, jeez."
No,
I'm gonna
it's
have to
good look.
change.
I meant it. It's
Oh,
good.
thank you, Durzik. That's nice, man. Oh, I'm really kind of screwed up. I'm sorry, but I'm really behind.
I can
I'm
tell.
working on
in the
one of
lab-
my. Huh?
I could tell. Working in the lab. It looks like late. Maybe last.
I was working late last night, and my eyes beheld a fearful sight.
Oh, no.
I was working on this dude, and I'm trying to get him ready for this. I'm selling one of my guys, so someone tonight's coming by, and I don't know. I guess I got something wrong, and he went totally nuts, and I had to smash his head in with something. Now I gotta like completely start over. So I'm gonna be real wrapped up with that tonight. I really kind of just need you guys to take over everything tonight, okay?
Sounds like it was quite the mash.
Mhm.
Yes, it was a monster mesh.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure it would be a smash in the graveyard if it,
I'm not allowed there anymore.
No.
Same here.
And he sort of wipes his face. Anyone like to make me a history check?
Ooh, sure.
Can we all do it?
I'll do it. Why not? Fuck it. First roll of the
Yay,
night. Do it.
First roll
I'm
together.
terrible. I'm terrible
Nice.
at this, but I just
got a
just
straight
wanna
13.
see.
Ooh, 13.
I got a straight 1, baby. First
Oh,
roll of the
Fucking
night.
real one, everybody.
A big
Okay.
old one.
You forgot something.
Snake eyes for Dorzig.
What was our highest one? Who else are we with?
I got a 14. Texarkana did.
That might be
Nice.
it.
All right, well, cool. So we'll say, Tex gets the most story. Durzek, you get really distracted, and you kind of just like immediately start thinking about yourself. And how you wanna, what you're hoping you can steal tonight or whatever.
As I am wont to do, think about number 1.
But others of you recall is that Stu runs a side business selling magical items to people who need them. And his most popular item is he makes constructs out of previously living individuals for people who might be interested in, having a invincible super soldier at their side. And this came about one day when he was trying to make the world's best barback. And though the supposed super barback ended up taking the head off one of the patrons, he discovered that a lot of the villains in the bar would pay top dollar for such a thing. And so he is clearly in the midst of preparing another one of these dudes, as he calls them, to be sold.
I tell you what, I hope he turns me into a dude when I die.
And he goes, "Man, that's in your contract, and I really appreciate it. You got a great bone structure."
Hey, thank you.
I've said this often, but if every organ in my body is not harvested for science to make the worst of inventions and machinery, I will be upset. I will come back as a ghost and demand that I'm used for evil.
Well,
yes,
that is
yes, we would all like to be a dude.
Everybody wants to be a dude. And he says, "All right, so I'm really gonna need some privacy so I can work. Like, I'm serious when I say, like, don't interrupt me tonight, because, like, if I had to stop in the middle, it's like, I don't know, you like freak out again."
Right. Yes, we don't want
But-
to turn your monster mash into a graveyard smash.
Yeah.
Very-
When that happens, it catches on in a flash.
Oh my goodness!
It's
no,
wild how
we
it
can't-
spreads. He says, but the buyer's coming in like around the opening to collect. So I need you to sort of make her happy, keep her busy. Please don't tell her that like it's not working. And well, I'll be ready soon. Can I trust you guys to do that?
Hey,
You
you've
got
got.
on those balls.
Uh,
Can I try to? Can I roll to give him a high five, man?
performance.
With,
Of
with my
course, you
weird,
can make a high five roll. It's Destiny.
course
It's
you
NPC
can.
Inc., baby.
trying to be like with my weird white leather gloves on too.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
You got
ooh.
disadvantage
I mean,
with
like
those.
gloves.
I mean, it's not the hottest roll. It's an 8, but at
8.
least it's not a 1. It's not a 1.
It's a pretty weak high five, but he's pretty stressed out.
Yeah.
So we're just sort of getting set up. I'll say that this is this is all sort of an introductory portion. So if you'd like to just tell me anything that you'd like to do, if it's beyond what you're normally expected for your job to do, we can discuss it. But otherwise, we're just going to imagine that your character spend until opening time, set up the bar, getting the chairs all dusted, all the normal shit that would be not fun to role play.
I would say specifically, Falix is read up on a very to go with the theme. We all did mixed drinks to make it home if you want to, which I think was really fun. But the one I put up is jalapeno infused simple syrup. So I want to say in the fantasy world that Falix has come across a very, very spicy substance. Some might say illegally spicy that he's going to try to decanter perfectly into a simple syrup to use for a mixed drink he's going to put on the menu tonight.
Ooh, I love that you gave yourself a task that is going to be okay. Here we go. I love this. So go ahead and make me a. This is going to be an Arcana check. It's going to be using the bartender class. So I created a couple career classes to add for our characters to add on to their to what they do. And so Kirkman has chosen, or Falix has chosen to be the bartender class, which gives a proficiency on bar tools and the things behind the bar, and also a boost to perception and insight on those who sit close to the watchful eye of the bartender. So we're going to be using that. So we're saying you're using your bar tools to make a dragon pepper simple syrup. Go ahead and make me that roll and do it with your proficiency bonus and your intelligence modifier.
Oh hell yeah, that's a big old boost. Ooh, for a big old roll, that's gonna be unnatural 22.
Oh shit, yes, you pull it off. It is a nice, spicy, simple syrup. It is not, I don't know, had you gotten a lower roll, it might have been, as you said, illegally spicy. But this is a nice, got a nice kick to it. You do a good job. It takes up most of your time. So beyond that, all you have really time to do is prepare for the night. Anyone else?
Tex is going to eavesdrop on some of the patrons, get a sense of who's in the bar tonight.
Unfortunately,
right?
Yeah, because I didn't want to hide those first patrons.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
But I will say there is actually one other human in the bar. Over to the side, there is a stage with a red curtain. And you see over there is another employee, one who's kind of he's sort of a contract employee, sort of a lot of musicians drift in and out of this bar. And this man is over there setting up, he's just got a guitar. He's sort of setting up and getting ready.
Yeah, I think Tex is going to go over and make some small talk with our other employee.
So you sort of stroll over to him. He's he's a human man, sort of like a skinny, young-looking guy. He's got sort of shoulder-length, curly blonde hair and a huge blonde handlebar mustache. He's wearing a interesting set of clothes. It has little bits of like glass and beadwork on sewn into it. It sort of glitters as he moves, and he sort of turns and smiles at you, holding his guitar. You've seen him play like a last couple nights. I haven't really had many conversations with him, but you know his name's Buck.
Howdy, Buck. You playing again tonight?
He turns and says, "You know it, friend.
Like
I'm going to try to entertain these folks around here. Hopefully there'll be less glassware thrown at me tonight."
Well, hey, you can always use a couple more beads for your jacket, I suppose. So
that is what I do with it. I recycle the. Yeah. Oh, you get it. You get it.
Yeah, I get it. What you gonna play for us tonight, huh?
Oh, just some of the classics. That tends to be what they like. Stuff they've heard before. Things about riding, owlbears, and your queen having you beheaded, stuff like that.
Tex kind of gets like a far off look in his eyes, as if to go like, "Yeah, those are the good old days."
He sort of looks at you and says, "You doing all right?"
yeah. Oh, I'm happy to be here. Boss has got us on a special mission or something. I don't know too much about it. As long as I get to crack a couple heads tonight, I'm gonna be just as happy as an owlbear riding around in the forest.
Yeah. I seen you swinging the club into a couple faces last night. That was nice. That was good.
Yeah. Haven't quite picked all the teeth out of old Casey yet, but that's all right. That'll give the next sumbitch a little bit of flavor when I knock it with it.
He says, "Well, I'm not much of the fighting type, so if you see them rushing at me, come save me, big strong guy."
Ooh,
I'll do my darndest. Can't give you any guarantees, but I'll try my hardest.
Yeah, he gives you a big smile, and he hops up on the stage with his guitar, and he says, "Let me know if you want to request a song, Tex."
Yeah, you play that one about the potion that makes you sick on love. It's got like a number after it or something. I love that one.
I'll do
Love
it.
Potion number 5. I love this song.
Classic.
It was actually written by a Diogar by the name of Lou Bega.
He had many women.
I heard that Ashley was
He
on
counted
his
them, listed them all by name.
Hell yeah! So you sort of this little moment with Buck. Get the musician on your side, always helpful. You never know. Anyone else want everything they want to do?
I think Durzik will pour himself a beer. A
Hell yeah.
tusk. Durzik does not mind the orc's will.
Yeah, well, so the interesting thing about the Tusk beer, you go to one of the barrels. There are lots of barrels of this beer, Tusk, the beer that is served here in this bar, and you know that there's an interesting thing about this beer. That this beer is the favorite of Stu the Necromancer. He's, in fact, fiercely brand loyal. And despite the fact that Tusk is by no means a great beer, he has given you specific instructions to all of you that if anyone gives too much shit about the beer, that is grounds for a ejection. But you have learned to, despite your reticence with the beer, to not tell him that.
Of
Yeah,
course.
That's instantly going to get under Falix's skin because he is that type that is always going to be talking about the best craft beer you can drink when you're just like, I just want a Miller High Life. That's all I want. And it's just like, well, you don't understand the hops balance of this Indian ale I'm presenting to you. You're like,
And the effervescence! Yeah, and nothing else in the bar is like that. Just the beer selection.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you grab yourself a beer. Anything else you want to do, Georgia?
Boy, PBJ, I think that this is going to be another depressing night.
Pretty much as soon as Durzek pours himself a beer, Petunia goes in afterwards. She will never do it first, but as soon as someone else does it, she's hopping on that. Yep. It should be fine. Here we are again.
Here we are again, double curse, just you and me, PBJ and Dylan and everyone
And
else
the
here,
others,
you
yeah.
know.
Well,
Yes.
Me, Felix. There's a lot in the bar.
Or it just pops up.
Yeah.
PBJ, anything you want to do before the shift starts?
Just gonna drink my beer. And
Hell yeah.
if there's any reflective surface, probably just make sure all my shit still looks really cool. Not like I'm trying too hard, but like I look rugged and intimidating, but also kind of hot, but also just I'm not trying too hard,
Yeah, like the perfect
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
I'm not giving
Cool,
a shit.
cool, hot, and unapproachable.
Yeah. But also
Hell yeah.
really
There is a big mirror behind, like a standard bar. It's a big mirror back there.
Classic PBJ, always checking her whiskers before her shift.
Hey, you got good whiskers.
Every
Gotta
night.
check 'em.
Well, hell yeah, that's what rules. Okay, so yeah, you all have your thing. So let's go ahead and say it is now question mark. The sun has started to dip into the below the horizon, and now people are starting to show up at the Double Curse. The first people to show up are, of course, a group of people that you kind of all just sort of collectively call the Dregs. They are an older crowd. They are like bar flies. They have a corner they all sit at. lot of them don't really talk a lot. They're mostly like kind of like washed up villains, people kind of down on their luck. They kind of honestly, talking to a lot of them kind of bums you out sometimes. Most of them are kind of embittered, but you see there's sort of a selection of them. There's kind of a random smattering of different types of people. You see like a gnomish druid. There's sort of an elderly looking elf with kind of a scowl and walking with a yuan-ti who has sort of snake-like features and sort of the slit eyes like a snake has, and a big like a big chunky toad man, a bullywug. They also, they're sort of calm and stuff. You also see that there's another person who immediately kind of pops into the bar, and this is someone you all know quite well. It's a halfling man. He's dressed as he often is, in a sort of impeccable green suit. With a yellow, like gold yellow tunic underneath. And he wears a lot of jewelry, and particularly a lot of rings and necklaces and earrings. And he has a big septum piercing. And he comes and he sits down at the bar. He's got kind of like slick back hair. It's sort of a grin on his face perpetually. And you know this to be a local super criminal by the name of Danto L'Abrevere. And he sort of sits down, he sort of drums on the counter, and he says, "Alex, my usual, please."
Oh, right away, of course. Do I have to do a roll, or would he know right away?
No, right away what Danto's usual is? Why don't you go now, since you asked? Go ahead and make a history check.
Oh, there we go. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have just been like, here you go.
Yeah, you should have. You should just shut up. I was going to let you have it.
Well, hey, great news. That is a very good spicy 19.
Oh hell yeah. So Spicy 19, yeah, you know what he wants. He likes a little like it's a sort of it's sort of a herbal liqueur made by halflings. And he likes it in a little glass.
Yeah, I get that perfect little glass. I put just the right amount on, just slide it to. How's the day treating you, Danto?
Nothing too different. Just sort of what I get into on a day-to-day basis,
I mean, I know
stuff.
I say it every night, but if you ever come across any vials or strange liquid you're just gonna throw away after the missions, just pass them under the bar. I'll take a look at them, consider them gone.
And he sort of gets a grin on his face. He says, "Okay, well, if you ever have any juicy bits of information or things you might know that could be snatched up, maybe you tell me about it, huh?"
Oh, I would love this story. I figured out the exact time it takes for an entire liver to be putrefied by an acid substance. Would you like to hear about it?
Oh.
Okay, well, hey, to each his own. And yeah, he basically holds up like his own kind of like his little hand is salute to drink to Danto, and then goes back about his business.
You could tell me about the liver putrefaction. I love that kind of shit.
So now the thing is, you think with
It sounds nasty. Lay it on me.
If you were all the way to the top, you could just get the whole acid dissolved within about 30 minutes. You'd think so, but it's such a hardy organ that it actually takes more about around 45 to 46 minutes exactly before it's all turned to dust.
Okay, nice.
Great to know if you're ever having to embalm an entire body. You need to describe it.
Sure, if I ever find myself with acid and a liver, I know we'll have to wait for 45, 46 minutes.
Right, and you know what? That
Minimum.
sounds like a good night to me.
What
So
did
you
you
guys
do
are
a
having
jar
this
of pickles?
You notice that like the elderly elven woman just sort of like takes her glass of elvish wine. She's like, sort of turns away from the rest of you as you're having this discussion at the bar.
Look at this one, clutching her pearls. She does not like liver. What?
Over by the door. I guess your texts are you sort of like posted up by the door.
Yeah, I'm posted up by the door.
There's a group approaching. The group is you notice that there's like it's just like 3 women walking down the street, like down like the street leading up to the bar, and then turning and walking. It unusual to see people on foot like this. And as they approach, you see that they are an interesting sort. There's a woman in a fur coat. The fur coat is sort of a pale white, almost like some sort of Arctic animal's coat. And she's flanked on either side by two women in blue robes with shaved heads.
Ooh, good look.
They arrive at the steps, and she sort of just looks at you. It's an old woman. She's like very, very old looking. She has sort of like a faint blueness to her skin, and long. You can tell she must have like really long white hair, but she's got done up in a big bun, like a Miyazaki grandmother.
I can visualize that.
Can picture it exactly, yeah.
And she's walking with a cane made of some sort of gray wood.
I have. Can I make a check before we interact?
Certainly.
Can I make a history check to see if I know who this is?
Go for it.
All right, that is an 8.
You don't know who this is, but they sure do look important.
All right, well, so then Tex is gonna play it cool, and he's just gonna kind of step to the side and just say, "Ma'am, enjoy your stay."
She smiles at you, and she's got like a really broad smile, like she's like really like it's like like a there's something just sort of eerie about it. She's sort of like, just thank you, I will. Then she just sort of walks past you. And the other two women, you now can see are elvish women, but with shaved heads and sort of a grim countenances. They just sort of just like walk past you and give you both a look. You can tell that they are utterly identical.
I do say howdy to each of them as they walk by. Howdy, howdy.
And you get nothing other than the look of skepticism.
I'll catch him on the flip side. It's all right.
They walk in, so then they arrive at the bar where the other three of you are, and you can't help but notice that the bar's gotten a little cold. As they arrive, and the woman gets your attention, PBJ.
Hi.
Come here.
Come over.
Ooh, interesting.
And she sort of folds her hands on her staff, and she says, "Hello, I'm here to pick up something from the proprietor."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just gonna be like a minute. So sit down. Can I get something to
Define a minute
drink?
for me. Is that like a minute of time or a minute of as an expression?
As an expression.
Can you tell me how long I'm be waiting?
I would say as I see them struggling with PBJ a little bit, I come over to hopefully alleviate the situation by offering drinks. Like, hello there. What would you like to have for a beverage tonight?
And she sort of thinks about it. She says, "I wasn't really looking for a night out. I was looking to pick up my package."
Well, nobody's ever looking for it until it comes their way. How would you like to try my special?
All right. Well, since you go ahead and roll and take advantage, since you spent the time to make that delicious simple syrup.
Sweet. Is this a performance or a persuasion?
This is persuasion.
Ooh, yeah. I should have put more into charisma, but hey, what are you gonna do? That altogether is gonna be a 15. Thing to see how that plays out.
Teen, she sort of smiles, and you can tell she's pretty sold. She says, "Well, I suppose I could sit in the back and enjoy a cocktail or two with my granddaughters."
Okay, well, excellent. I'll give you one of my patent bloodletters. I think you'll find the balance of smoky and spice perfect.
Very good. Well, in that case, I'll go, and we shall relax for a second. But I don't want to wait for long.
Listen. Yeah, so I'll pour him that little glass and give one to her and the two associates.
Oh, they walk away. She is not going to wait for you to make a drink.
Oh wow. Okay.
If any of you would like to make history checks like Tex did, you're welcome to. I send that to everyone, PBJ and Durzik as well.
Yeah, I would like to think of if I know if this person is a villain that my mom has fought or a hero she has worked with, probably a villain, and if I know what villain he
Roll
thinks.
with advantage because Not to reveal too much, but go ahead and roll with advantage.
Ooh, thank you. Advantage 19.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice. Durzik?
Oh, I guess I will. Well, here. 8 plus 8 7.
Nice. You two are also similarly to Tech, sort of like, I don't know who this is, but they seem intense. And, you, PBJ, do now start to recognize who you're looking at. And it is a little shocking because you know who this is. This is the woman that your mother has always considered to be her arch nemesis. This is Madame Storybrooke,
Ooh.
a witch of great renown, a crime lord in King City, and known far and wide for being someone you should not fuck with. And also, as you had mentioned earlier, I'll go ahead and just tell you, since you brought it up earlier, you probably shouldn't let her know who your mother is.
So they like.
That's
hate
your
each
last.
other.
That's your last thing that pops in your head. It's like, ooh, I shouldn't say that.
Don't blurt it out by accident. Don't drop like a family locket that has a picture.
Don't go up and punch her and say this is for my ma.
Well, I mean, maybe that could be.
That might be fun. Okay, so yeah, it continues sort of unabated, and you're sort of serving drinks, chatting with people. Danto is kind of regaling some people with a story about his latest jewel heist. Sort of a standard night. Buck started to strum along on his guitar, and you start to notice that, especially you behind the bar, the glassware begins to rattle lightly.
My glassware.
And Tex, I want you to go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, hell yeah. I will do just that. All right.
We just got a great one from Lee in the Twitch chat. We just got a hello. My name is not Petunia Butterbolt Jr. You have no connection to my mother. Prepare to drink.
Prepare to drink.
Prepare to drink. Tex gets a 14.
14, hell yeah. Texas, you're kind of got like a, you're sort of an ear to the ground sense about the world, a beast totem barbarian such as yourself, and your keen perception allows you to suddenly. Oh wait, perception, you get advantage. I should have told you about the bouncers rule. So you get a huge boost to your perception for being a bouncer, which is your station here at the bar. So you get to add double proficiency to perception. And wait, no, you get to pick two. Which one did you pick?
I ended up picking insight and intimidation, I believe.
Oh, in that case, never mind. So your original roll 14 stands.
Right,
14 was enough to notice that there is a smell on the wind. The smell is distinctively pigs, like the animal.
Pigs, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I actually, as part of my primal path, I can see up to 1 mile away, as though I have the eyesight of an eagle.
In that case, you see down the road a cloud of dust moving ever closer. And I'm going to go ahead and now have you do a history check and go ahead and take it with advantage because you're almost there with identification.
All right. Beautiful. Okay, so my first one is... it's a natural 20 minus 1, so 19.
That's a drink.
Natural 20! Holy shit, I gotta open another beer for that natural 20.
I guess I shouldn't bother rolling my second one because it's not going to get better than a natural 20.
No, it's not, unless you want to do double 20s, you just blow that for later. Okay, with a natural 20, which you immediately put 2 and 2 together, you're a keen-eyed barbarian bouncer, and also been in King City long enough to immediately feel your stomach drop, and just like, oh fuck. It's the fucking Hog Gang.
Oh,
It's Hog Gang, baby. It's just like, oh, it's Hog Gang. No. And with Natural 20, I'm going to give you all the info. Hog Gang is a local gang. They are known for riding on wild boars, which they loosely train. Hog Gang is known for being the stupidest, most violent criminal organization in the entire city. Their presence in a bar guarantees a fight.
Well, are they taking applications?
With a 20, I'll even say that you realize that you could and have often thought about joining Hog Gang.
Can there's with the natural 20, there's one thing I want to do with your blessing. So I'm going to decree that basically only like stepping into the bar for a moment, because he's standing outside, there is a brass bell that he just starts ringing. The text starts ringing, and it just says the Hog Gang bell. It's got a little engraving on it.
I love it. I love that so much. So you start ringing the bell. I'll also say that you, because you got a natural 20, you also know a little bit about Hog Gang. Hog Gang, they're a stupid, violent organization. They are known primarily for robbing merchants along the roadways, using their hogs for transport and quick getaways. Also, that they are, they're basically like they buy and the principal narcotics traffickers into King City, and often have illicit drugs on them. You also know that HOG is an acronym for humans, orcs, goblins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So with the bell
so
ringing,
cool.
the fact they have their own bell, is the whole bar just like chanting that like "Hog Gang, Hog Gang"?
No, it's very much Texas response, which is like, oh shit, Hog Gang!
Oh man.
Put away the nice glassware.
Oh, that's right.
All right, cool.
And we'll say that you start they show up in kind of a cloud of smoke or dust starts to dissipate, and you see there's just a huge snarling wild boars being ridden by an assortment of humans, orcs, and goblins who start to dismount. You see that they're all kind of the Hog Gang values individuality, and they all have various degrees of like big beards and piercings and tattoos, but they're all wearing armored, like leather armor vests. When they turn around, there's a pig face on the back of it, and then HOG. That is their defining feature, is their leather cut.
So-called free thinkers when there's a cool leather jacket in the mix.
And they start to just move in mass towards you, and they're headed up by a tall orcish man. This orcish man has unusually long blonde hair, like Fabio hair.
Oh.
And his big tusk, he has like a little gold, like almost like a gold thimble on the tip of one of his tusks, and a chain connects it to the other tusk. And he is walking sort of arm in arm with a tiny goblin. The goblin is wearing sort of like a fashionable like tunic underneath his vest, and he's got a black ponytail and little sunglasses on. He's carrying a briefcase.
I am going to attempt to kind of square up as they get in, and I'm going to say, "Howdy, boys. Not going to have any problems this week like last time, are we?"
And the orc speaks first, and sort of he's like, "Hey, man, no, it's not gonna be a problem. Don't worry. We're just here to have a little fun."
Well, knowing what your definition of fun is, I mean, not that I don't mind it, and I kind of choke up on Casey, which I've got in my hands, but just remember to keep it civil. And I'm going to make an intimidation check.
Go for it. Ooh, hell yeah!
Nice.
Oh man, I do not do well. That's a 9.
And this orc kind of just like laughs. I mean, this guy is like huge. He's got like a stacked like he's got, it's like sort of like I'm imagining he's like an orc from Muscle Beach in in California.
He's got a real Bebop and Rocksteady vibe, I'm imagining.
Very much so, yeah. And he and he sort of smiles at you somewhat warmly, and he's like, "Hey man, dude, don't worry. Like, we're just here for Crunch's birthday." And he gestures over his shoulder, and you see there's a very shy-looking bugbear, huge, like 8 feet tall, and he sort of waves.
Well, happy birthday to the birthday bugbear, I suppose.
All right, everybody join me. Happy birthday to
He's gonna take a
you.
cupcake over to Crunch's table. So they all kind of filter in. There is 15 of them.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Shit.
I just naturally assume. I mean, I'll leave this up to you as the. I gotta assume Phalix absolutely hates the Hog Gang. As a man of class and resplendent opulence, I can't imagine he would like them.
They tend to just order straight whiskey and Tusk. They tend to not pay their full bill. They tend to break things. Yes, they are the nightmare patrons.
Okay, yeah, okay, I thought so. I wanted to check, but yeah, I'd say Phalix sees them and he just silently whispers into the Plague Doctor mask. Oh fuck.
These assholes again. All right, so they sort of go and they're I'm gonna go ahead and start putting patrons in our bar too.
Nice.
That they are filtering in. They take up a large amount of the bar over here. Where's my? You guys can see a shit ton of them now. A bunch of the orcs and humans all kind of gather around tables, especially with Crunch. And a lot of the goblins go outside and begin smoking on the porch. Just saying for you to note as we go. Also, Madame Storybrooke and her granddaughters are up here.
Oh my goodness, gotta zoom out.
Yeah, I get to zoom out,
Yeah.
get to all these patrons. This is a big
Ooh,
ass
look at
bar.
them.
Buck's on the stage playing.
Fuck. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you guys are all sort of just doing that. You're welcome to start kind of doing your. It sounds like I'm the shitty boss. It's like you're welcome to start doing your jobs, but there's like anything you want to do to like deal with these patrons. You're welcome. Durzik, this is also like this is now the point where the server is required.
Prime ability and responsibility shirking time, you know. I'm going to maybe pour myself another Tusk. Gonna take a look around. Find, maybe there's like a skull on the wall that needs polishing, extra polishing.
You see that there is a one of the orcs of Hog is sort of trying to get your attention.
I ignore him for as long as I possibly can before it becomes a problem for Durzek.
Hey!
Rolling my eyes, I make my way over and I say, "Hello, what would you like at the double curse today?"
We want a round of Tusk for everybody here at the table. We're
A
trying
round
to
of-
drink everyone else under the table.
How very original of all of you. I will be back with your Tusk so you can drink everyone under the table.
No foam on the top, like right to the brim, man.
Yes, I will fill them with the requisite amount of Tusk.
I can just see Drozek's like solely talking to them.
Make a perception check.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. It is an 11.
An 11, okay. You notice, so you're sort of at this table right here,
Okay.
and you notice as you're there, this sort of a corner table, kind of furthest away from all the rest of them. You notice that this other table right here, there are like two orcs talking to a human man, and the human man is very like he's having a very animated discussion with them. He seems really pissed off. But that's all you get.
Can I stealthily move over there to try and eavesdrop on what's going on?
Make a stealth check.
Alrighty, baby.
As if you're heading to get some beers, but you're just kind of keeping an ear out.
I got a natural 1 on that thing.
Oh no.
So
Okay.
I think
go
I
ahead and
knocked some
everyone
stuff
take a
over.
check.
Hey. Cheers.
second one of the night, Durzek at the double curse. That's 2 curses.
Hey,
Don't want to
man,
have a
hopefully
triple
that's-
curse. That's the double curse.
So you start to walk away and you sort of just like you're trying really hard to listen into this conversation, and in doing so you sort of just like slam into this Yanti man sitting at the bar a little bit, and he sort of turns it, and he turns to you and says, "Watch where you're going."
Yes, I am sorry. Yes, very good point. But not your teeth or anything. I mean, just good point in general about watching where I'm going. Snake eyes. Ah, hey, oh.
And as you turn away, you see that the human man has noticed you looking and is now kind of a little closer to his compatriots, talking about whatever this is.
I think that Durzek would then approach the table in a much more non-stealthy manner and just say, hey, hello, man, get you anything at the double curse this evening?
It's like a human man turns to face you. He's got like a long blonde ponytail with like beads woven into it, and he looks at you and he says, I don't know. What do you guys think? Three whiskeys and a tusk for each of us, okay?
3 whiskeys, a tusk, anything else that you would like? Or...
I don't, no.
All right, 3 whiskeys and a tusk it is then. I will leave and go to do my job.
Go.
Is where I am going now.
Go.
And there's that. I'm going. All right, I'm going. Just, go back to whatever you were doing.
And he
Before I
turns
got
back to
here.
them and start to talk.
Can Durzak hear anything as he...
Make a perception check. It has gotten very hard. this DC.
That is a 17.
17. Okay, you can't hear the full conversation, but what you do kind of hear as you start to turn away, and he said, he leans in and he's like, "See, this bar is an example, man. He's an idiot. He always has the worst decision. Why is he in charge?" And you walk away.
Yes. I wonder who is in charge as I get these tusks poured and get the whiskeys.
Well, you ponder that. You start to Phalanx and Petunia are serving beers to sort of sad sack dregs of the thing. Danto continues to be sort of just like very trying to, especially like talking to you, Phalanx. He has a good rapport with you as two kind of weirdos. You go ahead. I think I don't even know if you would need to make a roll for this. There's something very odd about Danto. He claims to be a jewel thief. He is very mysterious about his methods. You know that he works exclusively alone.
Yeah, I would say I've probably pried him over the few nights to tell me stories of and tales of what he does, and I'm guessing I haven't gotten too much information as hard as I pried on all of this.
Yeah, he sort of yada yadas over some of the details of these heists.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say yeah. I'm everybody these these beers, pouring them right to the brim without any head as did, and I'm just like thinking to myself, like, what is his deal? What is up with this Danto?
Do to try to determine. You see, he's just sort of sipping his halfling liqueur merrily, and another patron walks in now at this point. And this is an interesting sight for this area. The people, they sort of, you notice them first, of course, Tex, as they walk up. It's another trio. They kind of arrive via carriage and park their carriage over in the corral kind of that is behind the thing, behind the bar. And the weird thing about these people is they're clearly, by the way they're dressed, pirates.
Yar.
It is a tiefling pirate, a human woman pirate wearing a large wide brim hat with a huge feather in it, and a sort of short dwarven pirate with lots of tattoos on his neck and a big bushy beard and shaved head.
This is going to be so nuts. I picked the pirate background for Bad Reputation.
What? Hell yeah!
Can I roll another history check to see if I recognize
do it with
these guys?
advantage. Do it with advantage.
Oh my god! Hell yeah! Yeah, I just wanted Bad Reputation, but this is really paying off for me. All right, that's a 6 and a 10, so a 10.
Oh.
A 10? Okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll say with a 10, and considering your background, we'll say that you do recognize who this is. I'm not exactly sure of all the details, but you immediately recognize from wanted posters that this is, especially the tiefling man in question, is a pirate captain named Captain Dmitri Venata. Sort of the thing that tips you off is as he sort of turns the corner and starts walking up to it, you see that he has he's missing his left arm. Man who doesn't know right from left here. Is missing his left arm, and the sleeve of his coat is just sort of folded up against his. He's very fashionably dressed, and he's sort of just walking, and he sort of gets up to you. And also, the other thing you kind of notice as he approaches is him and his two compatriots seem pretty drunk. And
Nice.
he gets up to you, and he sort of sways a little bit, and he says, "Greetings. Mind if we come in or sit for a spell?"
Of course not, Captain. See yourselves in.
And he sort of just walks by you and then stops and he turns around and says, "Sorry, do you recognize me?"
Tex is gonna take a moment to be like, well, just from a you had the bearing of a captain, so I took a risk.
It's the horns, isn't it?
It's the horns. You got me.
You see, as he looks at you, you see this like kind of like a handsome tiefling man. He's got sort of a maroon colored skin and two horns that kind of just extend up above his head, kind of almost touching the middle. He's wearing his like fancy pirate clothes, and he has a long red tail coming out of the back of his coat. And you notice that as he is talking to you, the tail has come up on his left side and it goes into a coat pocket. And it now has produced a single gold coin wrapped up in the tail, and it goes over to drop it in your hand.
Ooh.
That's mighty kind of you, sir. I'm just doing my job, and I hope you have a wonderful time.
He says, "I think you deserve a tip, though, for being such a kind dwarfman."
Well, if you insist, and I do. I extend my hand to take the coin. I'm not quite sure if I'm supposed to grab it from the tail or not.
As your hand approaches, he drops it into your hand, and he says, "Now, how about you keep that between us? That you know who I am, huh?"
Absolutely.
And he sort of he says, "Good lad," and he gives you a nod of his horn. He's sort of like he's wearing a hat, and then the human woman sort of walks by you. She's like her eyes are just like wide, like scoping you out. And you can see as she walks by that she is very well armed.
Hell yeah.
And the dwarven man kind of gives you like a little bit of a nod too, as they head in. The dwarven man, by the way, is holding a small wooden chest.
Hell yeah.
Classic.
Is there any like maybe potentially pirate's booty coming out of it, or?
And he walks in out to the bar. You see this trio approach the bar: Phalix and PBJ, and and he gets to the bar. He's sort of sways in front of the bar, and he says, "Barkeep, barkeep."
Yeah. Yes.
Me and me crew are celebrating a big haul. So, I want your nicest wine.
Oh, of course. I would never dissuade a man from such a fine the grape juice. And I guess would they actually have decent wine here?
Have a decent selection of fine elvish wines. It will require, however, a check using your proficiency in bar tools to identify which one might be the most fine for this particular group.
Right. What's gonna pair the best with sense of barnacles? Let me see here.
Salty wine.
That's a very good roll. That's gonna be what am I for the? What's my?
So it's your intelligence modifier plus your proficiency.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's a very good roll, and that's gonna be a 20.
Nice. Yeah, you know exactly like the nicest bottle. It costs like 20 gold pieces for this bottle.
What?
But yeah, I guess I would. Could I do a little check to make sure that I feel like a quick assurance that they would have the money to pay for such a fun?
Go ahead and make a insight check with advantage because of your barkeep skill set. You get advantage on patrons who are at the bar for insight and perception. You do not get you're not getting inception on them.
That was an 18, so with my modifiers, that's a 23.
Hell yeah! So they I mean, they're very well dressed pirates. You know, especially a lot of pirates that you have met in the past. Perhaps you met one. Tend to either be extremely poor or have a great deal of excess cash, especially when they come to land.
I've sawed a few of their legs off with gangrene.
Yeah, you've attached a couple of peg legs in your time.
Yeah, I'm all about
do you present him with the bottle?
Definitely, yeah. I can tell right away. Like, I assume that they're going to have the money, and if not, I know our staff will do what they need to get it out of them. So,
and he smiles at you, seeing the bottle. He says, "You're a man of good taste."
you know, I don't mean to toot my own horn too much, but it's a whole life built around of knowing the finest components when needed.
And he smiles and he says, "I don't mean to toot my own horn either, but we're doing a bit of celebrating. We're pulling off the heist of the year, I think."
Oh, heist of the year! I mean, listen, as a bartender, my ears must ask. Pray tell, what of this heist, if you wish to divulge?
And he sort of just laughs. He sort of says like, "We kidnapped old man King's nephew, ransomed him back."
Oh,
Charged
what?
him 2,000 shiny platinum pieces for seeing his old nephew again.
Oh,
Worthless.
goodness.
And great he was the whole time. And then he sort of just turns, and you can tell like they're all really drunk. And he says, "Poirot here's holding the purse. Let me see if I can get something to pay you with." He turns and he sort of opens up the chest for a second. You can see it's full of large platinum coins. And then he sort of closes it. He says, "Oh, silly me, gold's in me pocket." And the tail goes into the pocket and takes out a bag and sort of hands it across you, just sort of flops it on the bar. And then he comes over with his hand and starts, so he goes out 20 gold pieces and puts some other things. He says, "There you go, barkeep."
Oh, wow.
I could just giving you 2 platinum. They're worth 10 gold.
That's true.
I'm getting used to being this rich.
I would say at this point, like on his little plague doctor goggles, he has like flipped over slot machine at this point. So yeah, I'm going to take interest in definitely over serving this group and trying to get all the money I can out of them.
And he sort of, as he goes away, he says, "I don't want to say this bottle empty all night."
Oh, listen, that if you're a man of platinum, which I can clearly see, that's going to be top bottles, much like a famous rap song, all night.
And he sort of just laughs, walking away, not knowing exactly what you mean by that. With his crew in tow.
That doesn't sound like anything to me.
What is this rap music?
It's hard to catch on in
also,
King City at this point.
Hey, I just want to say thanks, guys, for being really cool about how bad my Irish accent is.
Oh, your Irish is fine. You got
honestly.
a nice brogue on you.
There's been some heat in the chat. But
There's been hate in the chat about your
just a
Irish
little,
accent.
it's from Kelly, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Fair.
But
Why is it always
we
the
giving you
tieflings
guff?
that have the bad Irish accents?
that's what I
Yeah.
So so they go and sit down over. Let me go ahead and show you where they're sitting. Over in this corner here. Nope, I'm not in the right mode to access my tokens.
Yo, same.
I say as if everyone knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, you have pretty much a full bar here, folks, of the parties of Madame Storybrooke, the Dregs, Danto, Hog Gang, and the pirates under Captain Venata up here by the fireplace. Everyone is drinking merrily, and you guys are kind of in a rhythm to a certain degree. This will be a part where I just want to know what you want to do with this situation.
Yeah, I would say just because since we were just on Phalix, I think he's definitely going to try to take priority on the group of swashbucklers, and I'd say the lowest priority he's putting the Hog Gang. I feel like they have a history at this point, and they know that he doesn't like dealing with them. So
Yeah.
I think Durzik would waddle over after witnessing that that whole interaction. Durzik would waddle over to Phalix, and without like facing him, just kind of sidle up alongside of him and keep looking in a different direction, but out of the corner of his mouth, he would say something like, Felix, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I knew I could count on you, my friend.
I do think that you could take human teeth and make it into an armor if you had enough of.
Felix, this is not what I was thinking.
Okay. Well,
God.
well, then I guess it's probably about the money. Yes, I agree. We should try.
Now we are on the page of each other. This is terrific.
I'm just saying, scurvy. The teeth become loose. They'll be falling out with all that platinum. We could get.
We could get you teeth. This is no problem. With this amount of platinum, we could obtain many teeth. In fact, if you want me to, get teeth for you, I could, you could forfeit some of your share, and I get you the teeth. You could give it to me.
Yeah, I like where we're going. Let us leave the bar tonight rich in both gold and teeth.
I love it. This is wonderful.
And then I just give him like a little elbow nod. Yeah,
You and me, Felix, don't touch me, but you and me, huh? You filthy thing, you.
What are
This is,
you?
a buddy, this is my favorite buddy comedy.
I just let him slide out slowly and be like, okay.
Tex, you're welcome to kind of patrol the bar now that the intake is sort of lightened
Yeah.
out too, so you're not posted up by the door forever.
Sure.
I also say, as you sort of break off this conversation, Felix, give me a perception check.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, getting those hot rolls. This is gonna be a unnatural 21 here.
Unnatural 21, hell yeah.
Damn.
You notice that patron of the bar acting a little different.
Ooh.
Danto has gotten very quiet.
Yeah, I look over to him. Something on your mind?
And he sort of looks up at you and he says, No, what?
Oh, Danto, come on here. You're here. Unload your worries, much like a drink into the gullet.
Oh, just thinking about big diamonds and stuff I want to steal.
Who isn't thinking about big diamonds all the time? Or teeth.
Yeah.
I'm going through a tooth phase right now. It happens to all the best alchemists, don't worry. Anyways,
Oh.
I mean, maybe you could run me your plans by. I'm a man of science. I could fortify your designs, see what you have to do.
It's not really a potions thing. It's more of like an art theft thing.
I'm a man of art just as much as of science.
Oh, it's just like if I start giving away trade secrets, it's just, me, I'm a blabbermouth. I'll give away everything.
I get that is true. I've heard a lot of stories without very industry. So,
Yes. Well, how about how about another one of these, huh? I think I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer tonight.
yeah, I can see this conversation's kind of going to serve him as usual. Kind of keep an eye on him, see where his eyes are leading him, and see who he's kind of keeping eyes on as well.
Okay. Hell yeah. Anyone else?
Tex is gonna take a break from patrolling the bar to put his gold coin in the tip jar and ask for a shot of tequila.
Okay, we all play the tequila
Oh,
song. We do the little,
Text on the bar.
yeah.
It's a huge success. Hog Gang starts cheering for you. They love you now, and your big platform shoes.
Thing. Yeah.
When are you guys to serve him tequila? I'm not gonna do it.
I'll pour 2 shots of
Okay.
tequila and take one with him.
You're all right, PBJ.
Yeah, I know. I'm
How
really
the
cool.
how the customers tonight? They giving you any trouble?
Pretty villainy as usual.
Yeah.
Oh, so scary. Ah.
Ah, no, they think they're such hot shit. Well, you know what? If you want me and Casey to come over, not that you need it, I know, but if anyone starts giving you any trouble, just send them my way, and I'll set them straight.
Oh, wow. I would hate if there was trouble. Oh, no, you
Yeah,
know.
you and me both.
Mhm.
DBJ, I thought you loved trouble.
That's the joke. That's the joke. Is
Oh, yes.
love- oh, I hate it so much, but really, oh, give it to me.
No, I understand you were being sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
We're
very
working
good,
on it.
yes.
One day you're gonna get it right away. It's gonna be awesome.
I don't think so, but you know, as long as you explain to me.
I
then
pour a
will
third shot of tequila for Durzik.
Understand? Thank you. I was waiting for yes. I needed
And then
this.
you hear from next to Durzik at the bar is the big bullywug man, and he sort of goes, "Whoop, whoop," and then holds out his glass.
Yeah, of
towards you.
course. I love
No, he
this
loves
guy.
Yeah, he's great.
It's like this is like a D&D Cheers.
I'm so ready for
Rockeye!
Glorb!
Yes!
Oh my god. I'm just gonna tell you, came so close to guessing his real name. His name's Gorg.
Glorg. I come up to Glorg. I'm like, I get it. You can't deal with your wife. She's ugly. You're stuck with her. You always talk to the mailman. You're kind of sexist, kind of funny. Classic Glorg.
Oh my god.
Do we know Glorg?
Roll me a history check.
Yeah, baby.
He's
We
one
now
of the
interrupt this
dregs.
D&D game in progress for Glorg.
He's
Does
here all
anyone
the
truly
time,
know
right?
Glorg?
This is one of our
Yeah,
good
no,
guys.
he's part of the drugs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's see him quite often.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, Glorg. I pull a thing of tusks for Glorg as well. Big fan.
Thanks, very cool. Did anyone make a history check on Glorg?
14.
Oh, 14, nice. You have heard some of the other dregs say that Glorg robbed a bank in King City and put his treasure somewhere in the swamp to the south of the city. It said that Glorg, unfortunately, couldn't ever remember where he put it after he hid it. And the failure of that bank robbery sort of put him off crime forever.
So many bank robbers with these fat purses.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
But yeah, I mean, you'll have to figure out, get him to share his story. It will be in Blub Blub. So yeah, you guys had that little nice moment with Glub. I really loved. I mean, yeah. So yeah, if you want to just serve drinks or investigating the people around, I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think you got the idea. There's trouble brewing.
Petunia very much considers herself like the beer and shots girl, whereas Phalix is more of the mixed drinks kind of bartender. She does all the easy stuff. So I will like look around and see if there's a group of people that has like not a lot of drinks left, and I'll bring over some on the house shots to all do together.
Saying, is there anyone in particular you'd like to do that to?
Yeah, the hog gang.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
All right.
love the
So
hog
we'll say it's
gang.
you approach the same table that sort of Durzik started with. You notice as you walk over to this table that the large orc with the metal cap on his tooth
So
is strolling past arm in arm with the little goblin and a bugbear, a tall bugbear, toward the bar. But you head over to this table here and offer them shots. It's sort of a mixture of like humans and a goblin and some an orc, and they sort of are very, very, very eager to take free drinks. They're very excited by that, and go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Ooh.
No advantage because you're not at the bar.
Oh, that was a 1.
There was like a
Uh-oh.
loose board here because you go turn away to go get the shots for these this table, and you trip and you slam into this Yan T man.
Oh, this poor guy.
First, let me take my one drink.
Hi.
And he says, "Watch where you're going.
Sit somewhere better.
God damn it!" I like to sit here.
Well, sucks
It's my
to
right.
Suck.
The serpent people, they always sit by that one table with the loose board. I don't know why they do this.
Come on. I'm not gonna fix the
I
board.
like the view here.
They always talk about the view, but I mean, look at
If you sit there and look, it's just like a view of the bathrooms over here. I like
oh, they have
no,
it's
perverts.
too
I
crowded.
see, yeah.
It's nice to know
Big
when it's
toilet
open.
fan over there.
Yeah, I don't want to have to poop and there's someone else in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to assume this is like a classic terrible dive bar Chicago bathroom situation. Like just
No
One
like-
seater's
door,
for
lots
sure.
of graffiti.
yeah.
Yeah. And these are the bathrooms over here. I am pinging it right now. I can't believe I'm pinging the bathroom, but this is the world I've created, right?
I mean, if there's any place you should ping, it's in the bathroom. Hey guys, everybody's dead.
And you got some shots for this table. Start handing out shots. You notice that this table right here has gone kind of quiet as you come back over. Anyone else have anything they want to do before more things happen?
I think I might. I think Durzek would just be laser focused on the swashbuckling types, and paying attention to how much they are drinking. Maybe bringing them extra drinks.
Sure.
Mostly ignoring the other patrons.
Yeah.
You approach and they're sort of merrily talking, and see like the pirate captain is sort of just like leaning against the table a little bit. He's sort of just gloating about his victory over the King Corporation and how much money he got him to pay for this stupid nephew that he kidnapped.
Oh, those nephews, yeah,
He was so easy to catch.
easy to
Hey.
kidnap.
Fell right for it. Well, practically invited him onto the ship.
How many nephews does that guy have? Is it just the one, or is it several?
I think it's several. I think it's
Oh, you
several
could
in
do
the
it.
family.
You could do this again with the other nephews, huh?
Don't think I
Very
haven't thought
easy
of
to
it.
snatch. Yeah.
Nephew.
They're all sort of laughing with you. You see the woman with the big hat you see it's kind of on guard, but it's sort of relaxing some and sort of kicked up her heels on the table a little bit, and the dwarven man sort of just like giggling drunkenly. And they sort of are very pleased with your service. In fact, you're even given a tip, and it's a fucking gold coin.
Ooh.
Me working at this double curse here is the first. This is the first one. It's real too, and I thank you very much. I would give it back as a token of affection, but I won't. I will keep
You
it
keep it for yourself.
for myself.
You don't have to worry about me. I'm rich.
Oh, that's right, because of the nephew. Yeah, very good,
Yeah.
nephew.
And he pats the
all
box
of
on the
those
table.
platinum pieces in the chest there. Very good. Yeah, the kid.
As you start to walk away from this table, you hear someone snapping their fingers.
Ugh.
Do I need to do anything special to see who it is, or do you think I can
Uh,
hear?
I mean, there's only one other table occupied, and it is the table with the elderly woman.
Oh, in that quadrant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. By Lodugar. Okay, I will walk over and see what is up with this woman and the
And
other
she
two.
is sitting there. She's like holding her, like leaning it like against her chair, holding her cane. And you can see the drink in front of her is empty. And she says, "So I was just wondering if you knew perhaps how much longer I was going to have to wait."
Uh,
Oh, no.
I can get you what you want. You tell me
I want
what you want, and
what I came here to pick up from the resident necromancer in charge of this establishment. I'll take another drink, but I'm starting to grow impatient.
I start away. I think I sneakily overheard that you had a package. You're looking for a package, correct?
I think you know why I'm here.
Yeah, of course I do. You are very important to the double curse and Stu, and he definitely didn't mention anything about not bothering him tonight. So I will get your back. I'll get it for you. The thing that you are looking for. Okay.
Yes, but I will take another drink if that
But
if there is
What was in
I'd
this
say,
glass of yours?
Ask the man in the mask who seems to be mixing these delicious cocktails. I must say, I do like my cocktail.
I'd say,
yes.
Phalix overhears that. He's walking up to mix up another brewski for them.
Mix up a brewski.
Yeah, mixing up
Take a beer.
brewski. Yeah, just taking a beer and putting it in a mix.
So yeah, you can put in their order for their drink for them, and then she sort of looks at you for a second, though, Durzik, and she says, what sort of criminal are you?"
Well, let us just say that some things that did not belong to me found their way into my pockets. The King's Guard were informed of such a thing, and I almost ended up in the dungeon. But am I in a dungeon? I don't think so. So, I find myself here, not in a dungeon, serving you wonderful, pointy people.
Yeah,
And
Phalix leans
she
in.
smiles. She smiles and once again this like unnervingly large grin at you, and she says, "You don't seem like you're very scared of me."
Well, let us just say that Durzik's heart is cold, like ice. It is hard, like stone. I come from underground. I'm not like the people who soak up the sun, want to tell everyone to lighten up. I am a little
She
different,
Grips the top of her staff, and you see that underneath her hand, the wood begins to frost over. And she says, "I think you and I have something in common, friend."
I think that you are correct. I think perhaps there's a little bit of what is in me is in you, if you know what I am saying.
She says, "Please go get my drink, and perhaps if I have to stick around longer, you can come and talk to me some more."
Oh, yeah, I might do this. Yes, yes. You can do this thing again, It's a nice trick. Okay, I will go get the thing that you want.
And she
Yeah,
says, the two elvish women, by the way, say nothing the entire time.
All three of you are very nice. I'll go get the drink for you.
Yeah, I'd say I was mixing up the drink, but overhearing the conversations. Ooh, somebody likes you, Durzik. I think romance is in the air.
Everybody likes Durzik, and Durzik hates everyone else. So, it's,
Title of two great sitcoms, if you think about
it's
it.
a bit of a one-way street, but,
Yeah, I happily handle the same kind of mix earlier. Since that seemed to work pretty well, I try to make the same thing, and then just be like, "Oh, hopefully this is gonna tie things over." And just like, so did she give any details on this package, or?
This is a bit of a pickle that we find ourselves in because she's looking for the package. Stu said, "Don't bother me." He's the one who has the package, so I don't know what to do. Dalton, what do you think?
You turn, and the spirit extends, and it sort of looks at you and says, "Number one, no one kills any patrons of the double curse. Number
know.
two, expect the unexpected. Don't underestimate your foe. Number three, take it outside. And number four, be nice."
I'm glad he didn't say have fun. I was about to puke.
And he says, also special addendum rule for tonight: don't interrupt the boss.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's the
okay,
reminder.
Nowhere on this list do I see go get package, so I will bring the drink, and then I will make myself busy.
Right, as you get a broad smile from her as you put down the drink, and then you turn to walk away. As you walk by, the dwarf Poro, the sailor, walks by you and into the bathrooms nearby.
Okay. He's going to the vet. Was Poro the one that had the chest?
Yes, and the chest is on the table still.
And then, but we still got two bogeys drinking at the table.
Sure do.
Durzik is a diminutive, wide but diminutive fella. I think Durzik is gonna try to stealthily, after he relays the drink, he's gonna try and make himself disappear a little bit, and then stealthily get under the table.
I like this.
The pirate table, yeah.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and go for it.
Okay.
With a stealth roll.
Yes.
Definitely do not roll the one.
It's
on
going to
this
be a
one.
high DC.
Okay. I got a 23.
Ooh.
23. Okay. With a 23, I will say that you don't necessarily fail. You don't manage to like crawl under their feet, like under their table. But
Yeah.
however, you do kind of basically disappear into one of these large chairs by the fireplace. And you're pretty sure that they have no idea that you are there.
Okay. I'm in a chair by the fireplace, and I'm not necessarily under it. Am I behind a person, or am I behind the empty Poro seat?
You're the way we'll say that you got to like this chair right here. So it's difficult for the way that you're sort of scrunched down. It would be impossible for them to see you unless they stood up from their table and turned around. But where they're currently sitting, they cannot see you.
Okay.
But I mean, if you were under the table and they got up, they would see you too. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Yeah. We'll go. Actually, just make this less confusing. We're going to go ahead and put. You're right there.
There we go.
Okay, great. And they don't. They are totally unawares. I'm gonna. Is there anything on the table that's the unoccupied table that's right behind me that I could like toss somewhere to maybe cause a little bit of a diversion?
Candles.
What's up?
There's some candles there. There's candles there on the table glowing.
All these candles?
I mean, fire is the ultimate distraction.
Yeah, maybe I'll
just to give some context to also what things that are happening at the same moment. At the bar here, Falix, you notice that Danto gets up and goes to the bathroom.
Ooh.
Everybody's going to the bathroom.
Boys. Yeah, I'm guessing I can't really leave the bar though. I guess I look around to see if there's anyone I could do. These weird shenanigans going on.
You're sort of go ahead and make a I mean that's kind of what you see. If you'd like to make a perception check to see something different, you're welcome to roll. You will not get advantage on this one because what you're looking at is people beyond the bar.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna glean the cue. Let me see here. The hot streaks are continuing very nicely. That's gonna be an 18.
18, hell yeah. You notice that sort of you see Danto go to the bar, and you just sort of notice something very odd as he walks toward the bar, and that is there's like a shimmer to Danto. Like he kind of phases for a second and then keeps walking. And then as that happens, the two the orc and the goblin, the big tough looking orc with the cap on his tooth and the goblin with the briefcase, arm in arm with Crunch the bugbear, approach the bar. And the orc addresses you and he says, "Greetings. It's Crunch's birthday. Crunch has a request, if that's okay."
Okay, happy birthday.
No, that's not it. That's not it. Crunch, speak. And Crunch says, "Crunch wants wine. Fancy elf wine."
I'd say Falix knowing I want to say I want to do the balance of Falix is going to go to try to find the cheapest elf wine so that he fulfills this task, but he's doing it at the cheapest price leader possible.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. God, I love how much you guys are leaning into being a crooked bar staff. It really means a lot to me. You grab go make me the requisite bar check with the intelligence modifier plus your proficiency.
Okay, come on. Good rolls. Don't stop now. Yeah, that will be very good because but unnatural.
Oh, an unnatural 20?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm using all my good rolls. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting ones when.
When the actual brawl breaks out, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'll
so,
die an excellent bartender at least.
yeah, you grab like a mid-range bottle of elf wine. It's like 3 silver pieces.
Okay, yeah, I feel like this is like knowing this crew and how uncivilized their palates are. This is gonna wow them regardless. Even if they knew their wines, they'd still be pretty happy getting this one. But I know it's gonna be cheap enough. I'm not gonna feel bad about losing it. But it's gonna knock their socks off. I'm gonna be honest with you all.
So you put it on the table, and they sort of pass it to Crunch, and Crunch looks at it, and you see like a look spread across his face, where he's just like,
That looks happy. Happy birthday, boy.
he looks up and he says, Crunch took wine appreciation course at King's School.
Just once again, my mask. Fuck.
And Crunch takes the bottle, and you see that his grip is tightening, and you can see some cracks in the wine bottle starting to form.
I'm gonna try to talk my way out of it. It's like, oh, well, if you're a connoisseur of wine, then you know that. Listen, this is not top of the shelf, but it tastes just as good. This is the mid range that's truly high range. Any connoisseur would know this is the wine they're gonna. You're not paying that flavor.
The orc has now kind of lifted up the goblin, and it's sort of backing away a little bit. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay, there we go. Come on.
Actually, either maybe it's gonna be a deception. I don't think you're being honest.
No, I'm definitely not being honest. Hey, you know those great rolls we were having earlier? Guess what? That's a 7.
Uh-oh.
Oh
my clock
no! Crunch! The bottle smashes and sprays wine kind of all over the bar.
As it does, like that was such an expensive wine to crush.
Lie. And the orc starts patting on the back. It's like, hey, Crunch, come on, man. Be cool, man. It's his birthday. He really wanted a nice bottle of wine.
Okay. Well, you know what? I can't argue. I think reluctantly I'm going to go for one of the nicer.
Your mic kind of cut out. It sounded like you were swearing that whole time.
Oh, yeah.
What kind
I'm
of
gonna pick up one of the
wine?
nicest fucking asshole
Son of
shit
a-
bottles.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that nicer wine bottle, the dwarf or I should say I got for the pirates here earlier. Then
And as you do that, Crunch looks at you, and his eyes get really narrowed, and he says, "Free now. It is free now for Crunch."
yeah, I guess I'm just going over my tips. But I know I fucked up that lie earlier, so I'm like, happy birthday to Crunch.
Hober, can I make a perception check to see if I can see what's going on over here?
Yeah, make it with your double. Because you didn't take that one. Sorry,
I
take it
didn't
with
take that
advantage
one.
because like it's getting pretty rowdy over there.
Yeah, sure. All right, so first roll, 17. All right, so 17.
17, hell yeah. Yeah, you totally see this is happening.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna be like, hey, birthday boy, what seems to be the problem over here?
The barkeep lied about quality of wine. Thought Crunch did not know. And the orc sort of gets in between. It's like, hey, Crunch is a big sommelier for the group, really.
Mm-hmm. It's Crunch. It's no secret to say Tex has been a little bored. He's been feeling this energy, and he's kind of hungry for something. So he's gonna go. Oh, Crunch is a sommelier, huh? Does he work at a bar? Because Phalanx does.
And you see Crunch is starting to get pretty mad, and like the orc is really trying to intervene, like, hey guys, come on, man. And like the goblin kind of starts rushing, is making a move to head over to the rest of the hog gang.
Thought you and your buddies were gonna stay in line tonight. I'm directing this to the orc.
And the orc's like, hey man, it's your guy trying to pull a hustle on poor Crunch on his birthday.
That
Tell him
doesn't sound like-
he holds a piece of label. He's like, he told him this was the best bottle of wine. Now, I think you and I both know that's not true.
Listen, I don't know wine from my ass or a hole in the ground, but I gotta say, if Alex gave it to you, it can't be that bad.
Crunch does not like being made a fool of on birthday.
Well, I mean, once again, I would like to say, just because it's mid-tier doesn't mean it's not the finest for flavor. It's really the price inflation you always have to consider.
And he sort of turns to you. His eyes are getting pretty wild. And he says, maybe crunch you.
At this point, I'm gonna put Casey out and say, "Hey, big boy, how we take this outside?"
And Crunch says, birthday party not done yet. And Crunch takes the wine bottle and smashes it against the bar. And get ready, folks, because it's about to get wild.
Oh.
At this point, we're going to take our intermission before the bar brawl officially breaks out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I love this.
Solid.
So we're gonna take like a 10-minute break, and we're gonna come back at, I guess, like 9:05 for the second half of this. It is going to be, just go ahead and give not just our listeners, but also you, our players. It is going to be all combat. So get ready for some initiative rolling when we get back. In fact, we might go ahead and take care of the initiative stuff while we have this intermission, and come back to you guys with a fun bar brawl here at the Double Curse. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Mandatory Workouting here at NPC Incorporated. We are on a one-shot based on the concept of Rowdy Roadhouse, and as we all knew it was going to get, it's getting violent. So more drinks will be spilled and probably some blood too. When we come back, we'll see you soon.
It's crunch time, baby.
It surely is. Boy, of all the
yeah.
people I thought you were going to pick a fight with, I didn't think it was going to be.
reference